So here's one of the pieces of equipment that I have here. I've had this for quite a while. It's a Lafont. I believe a friend of mine had one of these a long time ago, and he bought brand new in 1973. They don't make them anymore, so I'm assuming this is in probably the 70s. Powerful machine. I've used it quite a few years. I don't know why they stopped making them, but wish they still did, because those beautiful machines. 40 tons pressure. I have an exhaust here that I made for it. I had this inside one of the buildings I had. I don't like my equipment outside in the weather getting wet, sun fading on it. Even though it is an old machine, I bought it used. It was well used when I got it. Only issue I ever had with it was the pump, which is right there, that I had to replace a few years ago. I blew the gear inside and splitting something I shouldn't have been. But it's got a 23 horsepower electric start, Kohler engine on it. It's been a good motor. I changed the oil in my smaller equipment like this about every 8 cords. I like to change it in the smaller stuff. Old gentleman told me that I was friends with there. He was a small engine mechanic for a lot of years. It's got a big wedge on there. She'll split a lot of wood and fast. And he told me that smaller engines, if you change oil frequently, he says they get a lot of metal fibers in the oil, and which you would know because you worked on them. So I said change it frequently, which oil's cheap. This holds about 1.5 quarts of oil. So for $8-9, but you're better off changing it. No sense of running dirty oil. I change the hydraulic fluid every year. It probably don't need it every year, but I do it anyways. I first got this machine, guy that had before me did not take care of it. The hydraulic tank, as you can see here, was the cap was not on it very secure, and it got a bunch of sawdust down into the hydraulics. So I flushed the system out and got that working the way it's supposed to. I did have a leaking piston on there. That's one thing I had rebuilt. I took it to another guy that does them, and he rebuilt the piston and guaranteed it, and I haven't had any issues. But yeah, it's a good machine. I still use it. It'll do my bigger wood. I had one before this that had a mechanical lift arm on it. That was a Brute. Now that was an older machine. I bought that used, and I used that before I got this one. But I didn't need it anymore after I got this, so I just keep this one pretty much undercover now. I haven't got it in the building yet, which it's going to be. I have my processor in the building, which I'll show on a future video. But this machine is it produced me a lot of wood. I do about 300 cords a year, and this machine has done a lot of it. And at that time I had another guy working for me. He would run this, I would do the cutting. I have metal racks that I put my wood into, and when I chunk it up into the rounds, and I bring it to him with the machine, and he would split it and put it on the truck. But yeah, it's been a good machine. I wish they still made them, strong, powerful. And I don't know if you can still get parts for it or not. They look pretty common. You could probably swap them out with something else, but yeah, eventually this machine will be in a building, and I can feed it with my tractor, and I'll still put it to use on the real big nasty stuff that my processor really don't want to do, or I don't want to put through it. And it works really good too, splitting wood down. If I want to do some campfire bundles and stuff like that outside, if the weather's nice. So yeah, that's one of my machines. It's an oldie but a goodie, and I'll keep it till it no longer suits my purpose. Well, I hope you like this video, and subscribe, hit the button, and I'll see you on your next one.